The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with the harmonious frequencies of a dozen different species, their various forms of laughter creating a symphony of mockery that echoed off the crystalline walls. At the center of their amusement sat Ambassador Sarah Chen, humanity's first representative to the Council, her small frame dwarfed by the towering aliens surrounding her. "The humans wish to contribute to our military alliance," wheezed Gorthak, the bulbous Zolonian commander whose species had conquered 17 star systems through sheer technological superiority. His translator rendered his amusement as a sound like grinding metal. What could these primates possibly offer? The ethereal High Command representative, a being of pure energy contained within a translucent shell, pulsed with colors that their translator interpreted as condescending laughter. They barely mastered faster-than-light travel 50 cycles ago. Their weapons are crude chemical propellants and nuclear fusion bombs. Primitive. Ambassador Chen remained perfectly still, her dark eyes moving from speaker to speaker as each member of the council added their own dismissive comments. The reptilian Sauric Empire delegate hissed something about mammals with delusions of grandeur, while the insectoid Hive Collective's representative clicked and chirped what sounded suspiciously like the galactic equivalent of sarcastic applause. Perhaps, interjected Vexthar, the philosophical leader of the Cosmic Meditation Consortium, the humans could serve as entertainment? Their capacity for self-destruction is quite remarkable. More laughter rippled through the chamber. Chen finally stood, her movement causing the massive aliens to lean forward with curiosity. "You find us amusing?" she said quietly, her voice barely registering on some of their audio receptors. "You see our technology and dismiss us as primitives. You look at our history and see only violence and chaos." She paused, letting her words settle. "You're not entirely wrong." The laughter began to fade as something in her tone gave them pause. "But you've made one critical error in your assessment," Chen continued, her voice growing stronger. "You've confused our restraint with our capability. You've mistaken our desire for peace with our capacity for war." Gorthak's massive form shifted uncomfortably. "What do you mean, human?" Chen activated her personal communicator, and suddenly the chamber filled with a sound none of them had ever heard before, the deep, primal rhythm of human war drums. The beating was ancient, tribal, carrying within it the genetic memory of 1,000,000 conflicts across Earth's blood-soaked history. "For 3 million years, Chen said over the thundering rhythm, "we have been warriors. Not soldiers, not fighters, warriors. Every day of our existence has been a battle against nature, against predators, against each other, against extinction itself. We are the apex predators of a world that tried to kill us every single day for millennia." The drumbeat intensified, and several council members began to shift nervously. "You speak of our primitive weapons," Chen continued, her voice now carrying the authority of her species' entire violent heritage. "But you don't understand what those weapons represent. Every human innovation, every breakthrough, every technological leap forward, it was born from our endless drive to become better killers." The ethereal being's light flickered uncertainly. "Surely you exaggerate." "Do we?" Chen's smile was sharp as a blade. "Our first tools were weapons. Our first metallurgy was for swords and spears. We learned to fly so we could drop bombs on our enemies. We split the atom not for energy, but to create weapons that could end worlds. We reached for the stars because we needed higher ground for the next war." The war drums reached a crescendo and then suddenly stopped. In the silence that followed, Chen's words seemed to echo with terrible weight. "You've all fought wars," she said, looking at each delegate in turn. "Territorial disputes, resource conflicts, ideological differences. You fight until one side achieves clear superiority, then you stop. You have goals, objectives, reasonable parameters for victory and defeat." She began walking around the circular chamber, her footsteps eerily loud in the silence. "We don't stop. Ever. We have a saying on Earth, the only thing more dangerous than a human with something to fight for is a human with nothing left to lose. We don't surrender. We don't retreat. When facing extinction, we don't despair. We get creative." The Sauric delegate's scaled skin had gone pale. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying that for 3 days your combined fleets have been trying to break through the Void Crawler invasion in the Kepler system. 3 days of your best ships, your most advanced weapons, your finest tactical minds, and you've lost 47 vessels while gaining exactly 0 ground." Chen stopped walking and fixed her gaze on the massive central display showing the battle's progress. "It took us 6 hours. The silence in the chamber was deafening. 6 hours, she repeated, with primitive human vessels and crews that your military advisors said weren't worthy of inclusion in your fleets. We didn't use superior technology or overwhelming firepower. We used what we've always used, the fundamental truth that humans don't know how to quit." Gorthak's voice was barely a whisper. "How?" Chen's smile was predatory. "We strapped nuclear warheads to fighter craft and had volunteers pilot them directly into Void Crawler command ships. When we ran out of volunteers, we started a lottery. When we ran out of warheads, we rammed them with cargo vessels. When we ran out of cargo vessels, we started loading drop pods with soldiers and firing them directly at the enemy hulls." The ethereal being's light had dimmed to almost nothing. That's suicide." "No," Chen corrected. "That's Tuesday. You want to know what we call it when the odds are impossible and victory seems unattainable? We call it Tuesday, because that's just another day ending in Y for humanity." She returned to her seat, looking suddenly small again. But now the other delegates saw something different in her diminutive frame. They saw the carefully contained potential for absolutely limitless violence. "So yes," she said softly, "laugh at our primitive weapons and our backward technology. Mock our short lives and our fragile bodies. But remember this moment when you hear our war drums thundering across the galaxy? Because that sound doesn't mean we're coming to fight alongside you." The chamber remained silent as Chen stood to leave. "It means we're coming to win." As the massive doors closed behind her, the council members sat in stunned silence, finally understanding that they had not been judging humanity's worthiness to join their alliance. They had been auditioning for the privilege of surviving humanity's friendship.